Hi everyone, I'm presenting John Street Square Station in Piermont. John Street Square Station is located in Piermont area within central of Sydney, one of the stations along L1 Dulwich Hill Line. Originally, the freight railway line goes through Piermont and Glebe to separate the transportation of goods and passenger line in the city. In 1922, the line was extended eastward from Roselle Bay to Piermont, connecting to a network of wharves, warehouses, and industrial facility around Darling Harbour. Nowadays, it has been converted to a railway line combined with park, tram infrastructure, and cultural landmark. This report explores John Street Square Station in Piermont by using Kelvin Lincoln's urban image theory, which involves paths, edges, nodes, districts, and landmarks, as well as Gordon Cullen's townscape and visual sequence concepts, such as serial vision, inclusion, contrast, and juxtaposition. These theoretical frameworks, with observation of the selected area, can explore the spatial morphology, sensory experience, and public life around John Street Square Station. Consider how these elements interact with the historical memory and geographical environment of the region. The station functions as a node easy to identify in the urban structure of Piermont. The light rail station itself serves as a major path for traveling in the city, connecting Piermont with the CBD and inner west. The station is closely connected with surrounding city blocks based on Piermont's mixed-use redevelopment, which tied up the residential, commercial, and recreational uses. Piermont was a community focused on heavy industry and port transportation, surrounded by the sugar factories, wool store, engineering factories, and warehouse. Quarries in Piermont supplied sandstone for many of Sydney's 19th century buildings. In the 1990s, large scale of urban renewal began under the Better City program, transforming derelict industrial building into mid-rise residential developments, commercial frontages around Harris Street, institutional and office buildings, converted warehouses, and industrial structure. This mix reflects Piermont's long-term transformation from an industrial precinct into a dense residential and creative industries hub. In this area, the contrast between the low and mid-rise form around 2 to 5 story along Harris Street and the larger 7 to 12 stories residential blocks near the sea and the star creates a fragmented urban grain that directly affects how the street is experienced. These features create active, transparent, and socially engaging interfaces that support street life. The significant height difference between the light rail and the sea also obstructs the view from the inner area towards the landscape and the sea. The light rail track forms the primary path, supported by stairs and lifts that guide pedestrians into the sunken station. Harris Street and Bowman Street retain their 19th century layout, preserving the scale of the former workers' neighborhood. John Street serves as the key pedestrian road, but loses clarity because it terminates at the station and lacks of visual cues. Narrow lanes like Bowman and Mount Street act as secondary paths are narrow, results in less usability. In contrast, Harris and Piermont Street provide wide footpaths and active edges. Edges include quarry-shaped terrain, old warehouse and retaining wall, track railings, newer building setbacks, and Johnstone Bay. The terrain around John Street Square Station is shaped by Piermont ridge and cutting landscape. The station sits in a sandstone fold carved by historical quarry, with tunnels beneath Harris and John Streets. Stepping cliffs next to John Street's Pocket Park, reclaimed slopes, and the central ridge along Harris and Piermont Street create a rare, sharply varied topography in the inner city. Pedestrians move from the station-shadowed enclosed platform toward a brighter, wider plaza. Reaching Harris Street, the view opens horizontally, revealing broader urban elements. Move north, mid-rise building and active edges create a lively corridor before the path culminates in a panoramic view of Johnstone Bay, demonstrates Cullen's serial vision. The station platform is a keynote and landmark, combining public transport, pedestrian movement, and historical brick and tunnel structures. Stairs and lifts provide easy access, reinforcing a pedestrian-focused design. The plaza above serves as an everyday gathering space for locals. Pirama Park forms another major node in Piermont, contrasting with the station's tighter urban setting. Its waterfront paths, sighting, and recreational uses attract diverse visitors and create vibrant public life with human and native birds. The southern junction of Harris and Piermont Street is also a strong urban node, where concentrated shops, cafes, and wide footpaths support lively social activities. Contrasting in Piermont arise for rough bricks and sandstone sets against new glazes and light rail elements, creating the rich material tension Cullen described. These juxtapositions reveal layered histories of industry and renewal, giving the area a distinctive sense of place. Light and shadow further shaped experience. Tree canopy along Harris, Piermont, Bowman, and John Streets cool the air, soften hard surface, and create intimate, shifting pattern that easy the step terrain. Sounds also contribute, like rail movements, voice for cafes and parks, transport on Harris Street, harbor activities, and rustling trees combine into a lively soundscape that reinforce everyday urban life. Planning control protect Piermont tunnel and cuttings, guiding highest public domain and design outcomes. For future development, protect remaining historical building and retrofitted, add more street lights to highlighting brick structure with lighting, widening footpaths and add shops can boost amenity and vitality. However, increased commercial uses near the station may further erode Piermont's remaining industrial character.